Hey everybody, Jack Hammer here, leaving Levi Stadium where the 49ers began preparation today for their matchup coming up on Saturday against the Washington Commanders. Should be a good game. The 49ers sewing up the NFC West, but still trying to get that second seed in the NFC playoffs. Washington, in the meantime, coming off a tough loss to the New York Giants on Sunday night. Looking to come back here and try to get back into the playoff race. 49ers making a number of moves today. First off, they added cornerback Trey Lance to the practice squad. Lance was an undrafted free agent this year out of Georgia Tech. Signed with Tennessee and was there during training camp and then signed to New Orleans. Was on the practice squad with the Saints for a while. And then was released recently, and the 49ers were able to pick him up and add him. Not sure where he necessarily fits. They have a number of cornerbacks there, including veteran Janoris Jenkins. Jenkins was called up for the first time on Thursday night against Seattle, so he has a couple more there before he'd have to be added to the active roster full time. Only 3 more games left to go with that. So that's the addition for the 49ers today. Also, got big news with regards to Javon Kinlaw. The 49ers opened up Kinlaw's 21-day practice window. The defensive tackle didn't practice today, though. He was in the locker room. There's some video here on my channel of an interview. He's a relatively quiet guy in those interview sessions, but talked a little bit about how excited he is to try to get back on the field and what it would mean to him to get out there. He did not practice today, like I said, though. He went through a workout. The 49ers expect him to have his first practice with them tomorrow. The other big news was Kalia Davis. So the 49ers drafted Kalia Davis this last year. Brought him in despite tearing a knee last year while he was at University of Central Florida. They still made the move, bringing him in. Davis, a former linebacker in high school in Florida, went to UCF, became a nose tackle there. He's a quick defensive tackle. The 49ers are hoping to get something out of him. They're not sure if it's going to be this year, though. I think expecting Kalia Davis to come back and play right now might be a little bit of a long shot, but at least by doing this, there's only, like I said, it's a 21-day practice window. Just so happens that's how many days there are left in the regular season. So it's the perfect time now to get Davis some reps. He hasn't had any practice time with the 49ers yet. He's been working on the side the entire offseason throughout the regular season. So opening up Kalia Davis's practice window gives him a chance to get some reps. And I think that's pretty much all it's going to be for this year. I think the plan all along for Davis is for him to be a guy that comes back in next year to compete for a starting position or a spot in the rotation along the interior of the defensive line for the 49ers. So overall, though, that is good news for Kalia Davis. In terms of practice today, light practice. Like I said, the 49ers getting started with their getting ready for their game coming up against Washington. Jimmy Garoppolo, Deebo Samuel, and Kevin Givens obviously did not practice. They're all dealing with injuries that are going to be keeping them out for the rest of this year, looks like. Well, I didn't show you the rest of this year. Garoppolo possibly could come back. Samuel could possibly come back as well, as could Givens. None of them are placed on IR, but they're going to be out for a couple more weeks at least. 49ers, like Kyle Shanahan said today, they're not fighting for the playoff lives. They've got at least one game at home sewn up in the playoffs, so at least as the number 3 seed. Can't be any worse than the number 3 seed. So you won't see them rush back. Kerry Hyder still dealing with the ankle injuries that he suffered a couple of weeks ago. He played in the game against Seattle, still dealing with that, so they kept him out today. And Trent Williams was also out today. They kept him out on a vet day, so no practice for Trent Williams as well. And then in terms of the players that were limited participants for the 49ers, you had Travarius Ward, Tarvarius Moore, Brock the Real Deal Purdy, Eric Armstead, and Christian McCaffrey all listed as limited participants. Purdy definitely went through all the reps that were open to the media. Looked like he was, throwing the ball well to the receivers when they were working the receivers during that warm-up session that they do. Didn't really see him throw the ball down the field very much. He was choosing the underneath guys in the warm-up throws instead of going deep. Jacob Eason and Josh Johnson. They're the ones that they work those deeper throws. But Purdy's looking solid. He's looking like he's going to be able to play with no problems. Doesn't show any ill effects of that, of the injuries that he was suffering going into the game against Seattle. The oblique and the ribs. Doesn't look like that's going to be a big deal for him moving forward. Something that he's got to work. We're going to have to monitor. But for the most part, it looks like it's going to be okay. So there you have it from 49ers practice today. Light practice, like I said. First day of getting ready. The team. One of the main things that I heard during the locker room time was the players don't really seem to know where they are in terms of seeding. They don't know what it would even take to get to become the number 2 seed. Their goal right now is just to keep winning games, stay focused, stay fresh, and make sure that they get into this postseason on a high note and playing well. So there you have it from 49ers practice here on the Tuesday before taking on the Washington Commanders here at Levi Stadium. Take care, everybody. Keep it locked into the channel. I'll be back later tonight with some shows, and there'll be more content as the week goes on. Take care. Talk to y'all soon.